Ladies and gentlemen, there is no greater discovery in life than the moment you understand why you are here. Purpose is not a human invention. It is a divine intention. You are not born to simply exist, to pay bills, and then die. You were sent to this world because there is a gap only you can fill, a song only you can sing, a problem only you can solve. Purpose is the original intent of the Creator. It is not a coincidence or a product of human imagination. It is the reason for existence embedded into every living being, just as a manufacturer does not create a product without a function. You were not born without a reason. Purpose precedes your presence. Before you were formed, the intention for your life had already been decided. You were not a mistake. Your birth may have surprised your parents, but it did not surprise the one who designed your life. Everything created is created for a reason. And until that reason is discovered, life becomes a pursuit of emptiness. Purpose is not something we invent. It is something we discover. The difference between existence and living is understanding why you exist. Too many people spend their lives climbing ladders of success, acquiring degrees, titles, and wealth, only to realize the ladder was leaning on the wrong wall. Purpose gives clarity. It gives direction. It answers the question that echoes in every human heart: why am I here? Without this answer, we risk spending our energy in places we were never called to, performing well in areas that have nothing to do with our true assignment. The Creator never places purpose outside of the product. The seed of your purpose is already within you. It is hidden in your abilities, your passions, your pain, and your potential. That inner voice that keeps calling you towards something greater, that is purpose trying to be heard. Purpose cannot be found in comparison or imitation. It is not discovered in what others are doing. It is found in the depths of your uniqueness. No one else carries your exact fingerprint, and no one else carries your specific assignment. That is why comparison is dangerous. It can rob you of your identity and bury your purpose under the weight of imitation. To understand purpose, you must look to the source, not the system. Society often defines success in terms of popularity, possessions, or performance, but none of these things satisfy if they are disconnected from purpose. Real success is measured by how effectively you fulfill your original intent. You may be applauded by the crowd, but still be empty inside if you are not doing what you were born to do. Living a life of purpose brings alignment. It brings peace. It removes the frustration of trial and error living. It places you on the path of intentional growth. You wake up with meaning. You go to sleep with peace. You may not have all the answers, but you know you are on the right road. Purpose becomes the compass of your soul, pointing you toward fulfillment, not just achievement. Ultimately, purpose is not only about you. It is about what the world needs that you were sent to provide. There is someone waiting for you to step into who you truly are. There is a generation waiting for your voice, your solution, your light. That is why discovering your purpose is not a luxury. It is a responsibility. Passion is the fuel of purpose. It is the internal force that gives energy to your assignment, the driving emotion that sustains you even when the road is difficult. Purpose without passion is like a vehicle without fuel. It may have direction, but it cannot move forward. Passion is the fire that refuses to be extinguished by resistance, delay, or failure. It pushes you when nothing else can. It is more than excitement. It is commitment. Excitement fades when circumstances change, but passion stays rooted because it is tied to something deeper, your reason for being. When you discover what you were born to do, passion naturally flows from it. You do not need to be motivated externally because something inside you burns continually. That fire cannot be taught or transferred. It comes from within. You may face rejection, delays, or obstacles, but passion keeps you going. It gives you stamina in seasons of struggle. It makes you relentless in the pursuit of your goals. While others are satisfied with comfort, the person driven by passion is hungry for fulfillment. Passion does not settle. It reaches, stretches, and grows. This kind of passion is not random. It is not about just feeling strongly about something. Real passion aligns with your purpose. Many people are passionate about things that are not connected to their assignment, and while that may bring temporary energy, it does not bring long-term fulfillment. True passion supports your calling. It strengthens your focus. It gives you clarity about what to say yes to, and more importantly, what to say no to. When passion is rightly placed, it produces discipline. You begin to organize your life around your mission. You prioritize your time, resources, and relationships because you know what you're building is greater than a moment. It's about destiny. Passion gives birth to resilience. People who are passionate about their purpose do not give up easily. They are not shaken by criticism or discouraged by slow progress. They understand that the value of the destination is worth the cost of the journey. Passion also attracts. People are drawn to someone who is lit from within. Passionate individuals inspire others not because they are perfect, but because they are genuine. They radiate authenticity and conviction, which causes others to believe in the vision too. Moreover, passion awakens potential. It helps you to tap into abilities and ideas you didn't know you had. You find strength you didn't know existed, creativity you hadn't yet explored, and endurance that surprises even you. When passion partners with purpose, the impossible begins to look possible. Ordinary people start doing extraordinary things, not because they are more gifted, but because they are more committed. In the end, passion is not something you wait for. It is something you protect and pursue. When you guard your passion, you protect your destiny. The most dangerous thing in life is not failure, but losing your fire. Because once the fire is gone, motion stops. But when your passion is alive, purpose becomes unstoppable. Purpose precedes production. This means that before anything is made, the reason for its existence must already be established. In other words, nothing truly exists by chance. Everything that is created because there was first a reason, a need, or a problem to solve. The same is true for your life. You were not born and then given a purpose. Rather, purpose came first, and then you were sent to fulfill it. You are not trying to figure out why you are here in terms of creating a new identity. You are simply discovering what was already decided about you long before you took your first breath. This truth is essential because it shifts our mindset. In the modern world, people are obsessed with productivity. We measure value by how much we can do, how fast we can produce, or how much we can earn. But this kind of productivity, when not anchored in purpose, becomes noise. Business is not the same as effectiveness. You can be highly productive in the wrong assignment. Just because something is working does not mean it is right. It is not about how much you are doing, it's about whether what you are doing is aligned with why you exist. When you understand that purpose comes before production, you stop asking shallow questions like, what should I do with my life? And start asking deeper ones like, why was I sent here? The difference is profound. One question seeks activity, the other seeks meaning. And when you know your why, what becomes clear. Your daily actions begin to align with your original design. You begin producing fruit that matches your seed. Look at nature. An apple seed has only one purpose: to produce an apple tree. It will never grow into a mango tree, no matter how hard it tries or how rich the soil is. The seed contains its purpose. The moment it's planted in the right environment, production begins, not randomly, but according to what was programmed inside it. You are no different. There is a specific kind of fruit you were created to bear. You may be capable of doing many things, but you were only called to do one central thing. That one thing is your purpose. Everything else should support it, not distract from it. When you focus on purpose first, your productivity becomes intentional. You no longer waste energy on things that do not matter. You stop competing with others because you realize you are not running their race. Your journey is unique. You begin to measure success not by how busy you are or how popular you become, but by how faithful you are to your assignment. This is where fulfillment lies. Not in doing more, but in doing what matters. Understanding that purpose precedes production allows you to build a life, not just make a living. It puts your hands to work in the direction of your calling and your heart at peace, knowing that every effort is aligned with the reason you were born. Every product comes with a design manual. That manual explains how the product works, what it was made for, how to care for it, and what to avoid to prevent damage. In the same way, your life comes with a manual, not a physical book, but an internal set of instructions that reveals your purpose, gifts, limitations, and optimal function. The problem is, many people try to live without ever reading their manual. They ignore the way they were designed, try to fit into molds created by others, and end up frustrated, confused, or burned out. You were designed intentionally. Everything about you, your personality, your gifts, your interests, even your struggles, is part of a larger blueprint. Your manual is hidden in your natural inclinations. The things you are drawn to without being taught, the talents you possess that others admire, and the causes that stir your heart are all clues to your design. The more time you spend examining those traits, the more you begin to understand your original configuration. It's not arrogance to recognize your gifts, it's wisdom. A tool that doesn't understand what it is built for can either underperform or be misused. When people don't know their design, they often copy others. They pursue careers or lifestyles based on what is popular, what pays well, or what is accepted by society. But that's like using a microwave to bake bread. It's not that the microwave doesn't have value. It's just not built for that task. You must align your activities with your wiring. Trying to live outside your design may bring temporary success, but long-term dissatisfaction. Fulfillment comes from functioning according to design. Your design manual also reveals what environments you thrive in. Some people are energized by being around others, while some need solitude to think clearly. Some excel in fast-paced, dynamic settings, while others perform best with stability and routine. None of these are right or wrong. They are simply different. And knowing your environment is part of understanding your manual. The better you know your strengths and limitations, the more you can position yourself for growth and avoid unnecessary stress. Another part of your manual includes your convictions, those values that guide your decisions and shape your character. When you ignore those internal truths, life feels disjointed. But when your values and actions are in harmony, you walk in peace. You are not constantly wrestling with yourself. You begin to live with integrity, which means that every part of you, mind, heart, and behavior moves in the same direction. Finally, the purpose of the manual is to help you avoid damage. Just like a product can break if misused, your life can suffer when you step outside your design for too long. Burnout, emotional fatigue, and identity crisis often stem from living contrary to your inner wiring. You were not meant to do everything, you were meant to do one thing well. And that thing is already inside you. Unfulfilled purpose is the greatest tragedy a person can face. It is a silent epidemic that robs countless lives of meaning, joy, and fulfillment. Many people live day after day, year after year, going through the motions without ever truly discovering or pursuing the reason they were born. This leads to a deep, lingering emptiness, a sense that something vital is missing even when everything else seems to be in place. It's a tragedy not only because talents and potential go unused, but because the world misses out on what only that individual could contribute. When purpose is left unfulfilled, life becomes a series of distractions. People seek temporary pleasures, comfort, or success in external things, hoping to fill the void inside. Some turn to work, others to relationships, some to possessions or achievements, but none of these can replace the satisfaction that comes from living aligned with your true calling. Without purpose, happiness is fleeting and superficial, because the soul's deepest need remains unmet. The graveyard is full of untapped potential. History is filled with stories of brilliant minds, gifted artists, and visionary leaders who never fully lived out their calling. They had dreams, ideas, and talents, but feared doubt or circumstances prevented them from stepping into their destiny. That is the most tragic loss, not just for the individual, but for humanity as a whole. When you do not live your purpose, you not only lose out, others lose the benefits of your unique contribution. One reason unfulfilled purpose is so tragic is that it often leads to regret. In the quiet moments of reflection, many people look back and wonder what could have been. If only I had tried harder, if only I had been brave, or if only I had believed in myself. Regret is heavy and can become a burden that weighs down the spirit. It can also cause people to settle for less than what they were created for, perpetuating the cycle of dissatisfaction. The good news is that it is never too late to pursue purpose. Even if you have spent years off course, the possibility to redirect your life toward your calling remains. Purpose is a powerful force that can reawaken at any stage. The key is to recognize that purpose is not about perfection or timing. It's about commitment. When you decide to seek your true assignment, doors begin to open and new opportunities emerge. You start to see your life differently, and every experience becomes a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Living your purpose also means embracing responsibility. Purpose is not a passive thing waiting to be handed to you. It is something you must actively pursue. It requires courage to face fears, discipline to stay consistent, and faith to believe in unseen outcomes. But the reward far outweighs the struggle. A fulfilled purpose brings deep satisfaction, peace, and a sense of contribution that no other achievement can match. In the end, unfulfilled purpose is the greatest tragedy because it is a life unlived, it is potential wasted, dreams abandoned, and destiny ignored. But the opposite is also true. Fulfilling your purpose is the greatest victory. It is the triumph of becoming who you were truly meant to be. Your environment should not dictate your purpose. This is a truth that many overlook because it seems natural to assume that where you come from, your circumstances or the people around you shape who you are and what you can achieve. While environment does influence your experiences and perspectives, it does not and should not define your ultimate purpose. Purpose is an internal mandate, a calling that exists within you regardless of your background, limitations, or current situation. Many people fall into the trap of believing that their environment limits their potential. They think, because I grew up in a certain place, or because I don't have access to certain resources, they cannot fulfill their purpose. This mindset keeps them trapped, constantly looking outside themselves for permission or opportunity. But purpose is not about permission from your environment. It is about recognizing the power within you to rise above it. Purpose is intrinsic, not extrinsic. History is filled with examples of individuals who came from humble, even difficult environments, but refused to let those circumstances dictate their destiny. They understood that purpose was not given by their surroundings, but by the calling within their soul. They used their challenges as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Their environment became a backdrop, not the director of their life story. The environment may shape the conditions, but it cannot change the design within. Your environment might present obstacles, but it also presents opportunities for growth and creativity. When you realize that your purpose is independent of your environment, you begin to take ownership of your life. You stop blaming external factors and start developing internal resources. This shift empowers you to seek solutions, learn new skills, and build networks that align with your purpose. It turns you from a victim of circumstance into a victor over circumstance. Additionally, purpose gives you a lens to see beyond your current environment. It expands your vision. Instead of being confined by what is immediately around you, purpose propels you toward possibilities that seem beyond reach. It encourages you to dream bigger, aim higher, and believe that your life can impact more than your immediate context. This is why many who discover their purpose also discover a sense of mission that transcends borders, cultures, and generations. It's important to understand that purpose is often revealed in moments of adversity, not comfort. Your environment might be uncomfortable or even harsh, but it can also be the very place where your purpose is refined and strengthened. Challenges reveal character and clarify calling. The struggle is part of the journey, not a detour from it. Ultimately, your environment should be viewed as the stage upon which you act, not the script you must follow. You are the author of your life story. No matter where you start, your purpose calls you to rise, to overcome, and to fulfill the unique assignment given to you. When you live by this truth, you no longer see yourself as a product of your environment, but as a product of your purpose. A life of purpose leaves a legacy that outlives time and circumstance. When passion meets purpose, the result is not just a successful individual, but a transformative force that impacts generations beyond their own lifespan. Legacy is not simply about what you accumulate or achieve for yourself. It is about what you contribute to the world in a way that continues to benefit others long after you are gone. Purpose gives your life meaning, but legacy gives your life immortality. When you live aligned with your purpose and fueled by passion, you create something lasting. This legacy could be a family, a community, a movement, or an idea that changes how people think and live. It is the ripple effect of a life fully engaged in what matters most. The impact of your work, your character, and your vision does not end with your presence. It multiplies through those you influence, the values you instill, and the foundations you build. Legacy is not reserved for the famous or powerful. Every individual has the capacity to leave a legacy. It is shaped by the everyday decisions, the consistency in pursuing what matters, and the courage to stay true to your calling despite challenges. Legacy is built on integrity, passion, and a commitment to excellence in all areas of life. It transcends wealth or status and focuses instead on significance. When passion meets purpose, the energy behind your actions is contagious. You inspire others to find their own purpose and passion. You become a beacon, lighting the path for those who follow. Your life becomes a living lesson that encourages others to believe in their potential and to pursue their own unique calling. This is the essence of leadership and influence, impact that extends far beyond personal success. Moreover, a purposeful legacy contributes to the advancement of society. It challenges norms, introduces innovation, and fosters growth. It addresses needs that might otherwise go unmet and brings hope where there is despair. The legacy of a life lived with passion and purpose can change communities, reshape industries, and even influence culture. It is a powerful testament to the transformative power of intentional living. Leaving a legacy also involves stewardship, the wise management of your talents, time, and resources. Purpose-driven individuals understand that what they have been given is not only for their benefit, but also for the benefit of others. They invest in people, mentor the next generation, and create systems or organizations that continue to operate long after they have passed. This foresight ensures that their impact endures. Finally, the awareness that your life will leave a legacy gives purpose a sense of urgency and responsibility. It compels you to live intentionally, to prioritize what truly matters, and to resist distractions that steal time and focus. Knowing that your legacy will influence future generations motivates you to be the best version of yourself, not just for today, but for all tomorrows.